Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Life with Nicole Marie and Gary. Today you guys, I am going to be making my sister-in-law's Texas hash. And so we're going to get into the ingredients right away, you guys. So I'm going to make this, it's for a single recipe. This would feed 4 people, but if you need to double it, by all means. Okay, so I have here a half a cup of washed white long grain rice. You're going to need a dish. I don't know, any baking dish of any kind you have, and make sure you have either a cover for it or aluminum foil. It called for chili powder. I'm omitting that, and I'm just going to use this taco seasoning. You can do that. You're going to need a large can of diced tomatoes. This is the diced tomatoes I picked because it has no salt. I have a bell pepper here, an onion here, a pound of hamburger, and cheese to top at the end. So let's get started on browning the hamburger, you guys. Okay guys, now that we have our hamburger and our peppers and onions in the pot here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to season it. You can season this however you like. Use all the seasonings you desire, okay? This is just what I'm doing, but you can do it however you like. So that was paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown this hamburger up. I'm going to cook, make sure the onions and the peppers are cooked, softened I should say, onions translucent. When the hamburger is done cooking, we're going to go ahead, we're going to drain the grease, and then while it's draining, or after it's done draining, we'll move to our next step. So I also want to reiterate to you guys that this recipe can be absolutely adaptable. So if you don't want to use beef like I have here, you can use ground turkey or ground chicken if you like. If you're vegan or vegetarian and you want to have this dish, just omit this type of protein and use either beans or maybe Beyond Meat or whatever you choose to do. You definitely can make it that way. And the only thing you wouldn't do at the end, unless you wanted to use vegan cheese at the end, you definitely could top it that way. I've seen plenty of videos where Dee Diets, she made a cheese out of nutritional yeast and sweet potato. And she says you couldn't tell the difference. It tasted just like cheese. I thought that was really cool. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let this finish up. We're going to drain it and then move on to the next step. Alright y'all, so we've drained our beef. We're going to go ahead and put this, you're going to need a bowl, okay? So these ingredients are important to follow along because of what you're going to need for the juices. So here's our half a cup of rice. It's not cooked. You don't want it cooked. You want it half a cup of uncooked rinsed rice. You're going to need a big can. I think it's a 32-ounce can of diced tomatoes. Do not drain that. You're going to need the juices, but they didn't have it in the no salt version, so I'm using this. That's why I didn't cook my peppers and onions all the way. They'll add to that as well. Then you're going to add in your chili, your seasoning. I'm using this. I'm using the Mrs. Dash. And guys, the reason why it's no salt for us is because we're not supposed to really have a bunch of salt. You're going to mix this together really well. Combined it all up together. You want to make sure you spray your baking dish with non-cooking spray. Whoop, and she made a little mess over there. Get that wiped up. Now that it's combined, I have my baking dish here. Don't worry, that was just a little bit of that from that hamburger there. Just spray it. We're going to put everybody in there. You definitely could use a 9x13 with this. And I'm just going to even her out. 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, you'll want to uncover it and cook it for an additional 15 minutes. So I'm going to get her in the oven and we'll be back. Okay, you guys, it's done. I took it out had 6 more minutes to go when I put it back in at the 15-minute mark. So probably about just a few more minutes, but we're going to go ahead and top this with cheese. She is bubbly, she is hot. Spread it out. You make this as cheesy as you like. And then I thought how pretty it would be to top it with some chopped green onion. So as this cools, the cheese is going to melt, okay? It will. And of course I'm going to bring you back for the end result. Of course I will. Alright. Let's get that cheese melted and we'll be back. And there you guys have it. Texas hash. You guys can pair this with some tortillas. I'm going to make mine into a burrito bowl with some vegetables and stuff and eat it with chips. Gary's going to have some Texas toast cheesy bread with his. You can pair it with anything you like. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Y'all, until next video, take care, stay blessed, stay safe. Y'all have a wonderful day, and see you in next video. Bye, y'all.